That was just a joke. All right. So the first 20 minutes of the run is going to be done by Thiefbug and myself because of the donation incentive of 2 players, 1 controller. So you will see Cycle 1 performed by 2 people instead of just myself. Let's begin. So the file is... No, not yet.
I know.
Okay.
Don't worry.
All right, I'm ready whenever you guys are.
We're ready.
All right, 3, 2, 1, go. All right, guys, so welcome to a Majora's Mask any % speedrun. Quick thing before we get into the details of stuff. If you watched AGDQ 2014, you probably remember that ZFG over here actually did a run of Majora's Mask any % last year. And you're probably wondering, well, like, why are we doing it again? And the reason for that is because a lot of changes happened over the past year, and there's been significant route changes, and the route is a lot more optimized and faster, by a couple of minutes, actually. And basically, the main thing is that one of the glitches that was, I guess, causing the overhaul of this entire thing was actually found 3 days after his run, so unfortunately, ZFG wasn't able to showcase it. And it was a pretty cool find, so we're going to get into more detail about that after. So a little bit about the run itself. If you're familiar with this run, the beginning of it is a little bit slow. The first 20 minutes of it actually starts off with a lot of cutscenes and kind of just having to move things as fast as possible in order to get into the more nitty-gritty stuff as far as technicalities and execution. And after that, you kind of just have to transition your way from like having a lot of cutscenes to just a ton of gameplay. And you're going to notice that significantly as the run progresses. Another thing you should note, this is the Japanese version of the game. You'll see that the text pop-up is in Japanese. The reason for that is because it's actually a lot faster for 2 reasons. One, the text is faster. There's less characters per text box, which actually makes the text go by quicker. And on top of that, there's actually differences between the English version and the Japanese version of the game. The Japanese version has a couple of things, such as power crouch stabbing, which is a glitch that allows you to cause more damage to certain enemies as fast as possible. It kind of just increases like how fast you beat a boss and stuff like that. There's also a different route. We're actually able to get the hook shot early in the Japanese version as opposed to in the English version because of the way the pirates work in this in the Pirate's Fortress. But we'll get into that a little bit later on. As of right now, we're kind of just getting through the original cutscenes, like the beginning of the game, and trying to get into Clocktown as fast as possible. And in fact, actually, this right now would be a really good time to get some donations started as we kind of move things forward a bit.
Yeah, let's do it. Mikey130 donated $50. Second donation of the marathon, donating in memory of my grandmother, who I lost while I was young. Save humanity from cancer and save those animals. We'll donate $50 more if everyone in the room high fives.
Dude, give me an awkward high five, yeah?
No one? Yeah. Am I denying anyone?
I guess some of those count as high fives.
Yeah.
Well, we'll be expecting $50 more, I guess.
All right.
I didn't deny anyone, did I?
Nope. Okay. And we got an anonymous $50 donation that just says beep, 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 beep.
What?
So, yeah.
Why am I even mashing?
We got a $50 donation from the Viking GMR who says, hello guys, thanks for all your hard work. It's been 2 years since I stumbled onto AGDQ and speedrunning. Been loving every second of it since then. P.S. Kill them dirty animals.
Okay. All right, so this is the first of many cutscenes after we get control of Link.
Digital Badger donated $20. Great Zelda block so far. Looking forward to the Majora's Mask run, as well as the Blind Child dungeons in OOT. I'm sad the week is almost over, but my wallet will appreciate it dearly until SGDQ 2015.
All right, so Thiefbug taking it away with the mashing.
David V's donated $40. This is for the staff at AGDQ. Your work is appreciated. Jim48 donated $20. I'm giving up a stake to donate for cancer, or against cancer, whichever side is more popular. In order to ensure the future of steak, AGDQ, and other things, we must graze the animals.
So a little thing about what's going to come up in a little bit. We're going to actually start to get to our first trick. And we're going to call it the Happy Mask Salesman cutscene skip. In short, it's the HMS skip. And essentially what it is when you first enter the clock tower, you have to meet the Happy Mask Salesman, who kind of elaborates a little bit on the story. And then what ends up happening is you talk to him, and then you can enter Clocktown for the first time. But because it's a speed run, we're kind of against cutscenes, and anything we can skip is kind of a good thing. So there's actually a way to skip cutscenes in this game, given the right circumstances. And the way it works is, in this game, cutscenes, they take 2 frames to activate. They take 2 frames to activate. And basically, if you pause and unpause and buffer 1 frame at a time, the cutscene is never able to start because you're never giving the game a 2-frame window to activate the cutscene. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to start buffering pauses and advance 1 frame at a time up the staircase where the cutscene is supposed to start. But because we're never going to give the game 2 frames, it doesn't start and we actually enter Clocktown. And of course, the faster we do it, the more time we save. But we're going to add a little bit of a twist to it by trying to do this with 2 players, 1 controller, of course. So hopefully this goes well.
String Epsilon donated $333.33. Good news, everyone. There are animals with cancer stuck on a planet, and we have to save them. Also, the hype of the crowd reminds me so much of the seagulls in Finding Nemo. Can I get an impression of them? Hashtag mine. Hype. Thanks to Stupid Quaker for a $50 donation. Thanks for the awesome work, guys. Greetings from Germany. Olivier donated $50. So many people donate after suffering from the loss of someone due to cancer. Don't wait, people. We do this to prevent it. Kills the animals.
All right, so we're going to go through this little tunnel here, and then we're going to make our way into the clock tower. So I'm going to have to focus here to see if we can get this cutscene skip. Oops. Okay. That's okay. Oops. Okay. Oh! I'm dang.
Missed it just a tiny bit there.
Yeah. That's all right.
All right, well, we got an anonymous $200 donation. Hey, all. Thanks so much for the entertainment and display of amazing skill and dedication. Zelda games have always had a special place in my heart, and watching them demolished is great. I've been watching GDQs for 3 years now, and I love them all. My grandmother passed away just before AGDQ last year, so I love that you use this awesome event to benefit PCF. Best of luck to all the runners, and thanks to all the readers.
So yeah, you can see this cutscene is just like, it's really long. And that cutscene skip probably would have saved us about 30 to 40 seconds, actually. But it's no big deal. All right, so now we're in Clocktown. So I'm kind of going to talk a little bit about Cycle 1. It's infamous for being really boring and slow, but we're going to try and make it a little bit more entertaining, doing 2-player 1 controller. Basically, Cycle 1, normally what you have to do is you have to do this whole thing with the Bomber Kids, and you have to get a code, and then you have to go and find something called the Moon's Tear, and then you have to trade the Moon's Tear to that little Deku scrub that's sitting in that Deku flower just in front of the camera right there. And essentially, you can get to the clock tower by taking that flower. But we're going to skip a whole bunch of that stuff because the point of Cycle 1 is to advance time as fast as possible. And the reason for that is because we want to get our ocarina and then reset the cycle, go to day 1 again, and then become a human. And that way we can get moving with the other things in the game. So there's actually really good ways to advance time. The best one right now being Grandma. Grandma in the Stockpot Inn, she actually, if you talk to her and listen to her boring story, she will advance time by an entire day. So we can do that twice and go from first day to last day right away.
But give me your choice on a donation. Kill the animals.
Kill the animals.
All right, so now it's the last day. Also, a nice little thing to notice, the actual in-game clock says last in the Japanese version, but in the English version it says final. So that's a cool little difference. All right, so we made it last day, but that's still not good enough because we kind of want to make it nighttime, and if we just waited for nighttime, it would take a really long time. So we can actually make our way to West Clocktown and visit the Scarecrow. And if we talk to the Scarecrow and dance with him, he will actually advance time by half a day. So instead of going a full day, we'll be able to make it nighttime. And then from there, it's only a short wait to enter the clock tower. All right, so let's get that done.
Atomic Old Man donated $220. I wasn't able to donate during Big Rigs, but I guess Majora's Mask is an okay game too. Thanks for another great year of speedruns. Screw you, Cancer.
All right, so we made it nighttime already of the last day. We have about 6 in-game hours before the clock tower opens. And we're not just going to kill the time. We actually have some stuff to do before we can make our way to the clock tower door. And there's 2 things. The first one is getting the Great Fairy back intact, and that way we can get magic. Magic's going to come in handy later on. And afterwards, what we're going to do is we're actually going to harvest some rupees from Termina. And you're probably wondering, well, you can't go to Termina. You're normally not supposed to be able to go to Termina in the first cycle because the guard won't let you. But if you target this wall and backwalk, you can actually sneak past him. So now we're in Termina before we're supposed to be. And it's actually pretty cool. It's completely deserted. And the reason for that is because all the actors in the entire Termina field, such as the bad guys and things that fly around and stuff, they don't spawn until the clock tower cutscene occurs. So the only thing that's available right now is these grass patches. Oops, just grab this one. Okay. And we're actually able to go from patch to patch and kind of collect as many rupees as possible. There is a certain amount of rupees we're looking for here. The minimum requirement is 60, but essentially what we want is 90. And it's complete RNG, RNG being random number generators, so it's completely random. So far we've actually gotten some pretty good RNG. I kind of like to get to this bush around 50 to 60 rupees. That's a good number. And what I'd like to do is enter Clocktown again to make sure I have enough time to get back to the clock tower by about 10:30 in-game time. So right now it's 9 o'clock, so we're making good time right now. And actually it looks like we're going to get 90 rupees potentially, at minimum 80, so that's actually really nice. And I'll explain a little bit about that after. Another thing that's good about being in Termina right now is normally when you enter one of the 4 regions in Clocktown, you have to watch like an intro cutscene. Okay, nice, we got 90 rupees, good. You have to watch an intro cutscene that basically says, welcome to this part of Clocktown. And that's slow because a cutscene takes time. But if we enter an area from Termina, which we're not supposed to actually do, the game thinks you've already visited the area. So we're already in North Clocktown, but we never actually watched the cutscene. Okay, nice. Oops. Missed it by a small thing. All right. So now we can restore the Great Fairy, get the magic. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go to the bank in West Clocktown, deposit those rupees, and then make our way to the clock tower. Because if you didn't know, when you play Song of Time, you actually lose all of the stuff that you're carrying, like inventory-wise, such as rupees, ammo amounts, like for bombs and arrows, stuff like that. But if we go to the bank and deposit the money, when you go back to the first day, the money's in the bank and we can withdraw it for stuff. So that's the purpose of that.
Escrunt donated $10. Hey Phil, calling it now. 1 hour, 28 minutes, 55 seconds.
All right, cool. So now we got a magic bar. So let's work our way back to West Clocktown now. Deposit the money. So it's kind of nice. They give you like enough time after nighttime to kind of just get all this stuff out of the way. You kind of, depending on how good the RNG is from Termina, you can get back into Clocktown and have plenty of time to get stuff out of the way in order to make sure you're at the clock tower on time. Because if you get to the clock tower and it's late, I guess, any time that it takes you to get to the clock tower door after the cutscene, you lose time because you should be able to get to the clock tower before midnight, which is when it opens. So we have about 30 in-game seconds. Minutes. All right. 1, 2, 3. Nice. Good try. We were actually nervous about that one. We're glad that one worked out first try. All right, good. So we're just about done with cycle 1. We tried to make it a little more entertaining with the two of us combined.
Amir Lin, sorry.
Oh, pardon me.
Okay, Amir Lin donated $100. Donating during the Majora's Mask run, as this was the game my dad and I played all the time when I was younger. Shout out to my dad, aka Flash, who's also watching right now. Good luck on your Appalachian Trail hike.
So you're gonna notice for cycle 2, it's really cool. Like when all the cutscenes are finished, the run kind of just takes off, and I'll kind of pinpoint that exact moment when we just have constant movement and really cool tricks. I'm gonna show off a lot of things that weren't shown off in last year's run, just because of the optimizations, and I mean they're definitely aesthetically cool-looking tricks. So we can look forward to that.
Dasser donated $100. Two things I look forward to every year, AGDQ and SGDQ. Keep up the great work. And Suicidal Yak donated $50. Hey all, love watching this event. It's so hype. No one? There we go. Great job to everyone who's playing and volunteering. Normally I would save the animals, but these animals are infinitely regenerated by the flip of a switch, so kill the animals!
All right, nice. So we got our trusty ocarina now. So now all we gotta do is learn Song of Time, play Song of Time, and go back to day 1 of the first day. Or dawn of the first day.
Platypus Socks 112 donated $50. Link murders animals all the time. Why shouldn't we? Doppels donated $50. Second donation for this AGDQ. Just have to put one in for my favorite game of all time.
Nice.
And not only do I get to see Majora's Mask destroyed, I get to support a good cause. Gonna donate towards the runners of Kingdom Hearts singing "Everybody Wants to Be a Cat" because it's oh so true. As rad as "I'll Make a Man Out of You" might be. And we got $100 from Mom Scout. Congratulations to Rom Scout and his crew for all their hard work pulling together this charity event.
It's the hardest part of the game, ladies and gentlemen. All right, cool. It's been a pleasure doing business with you. Awesome. So I'm going to take the throne now because we finished cycle 1. And now it's time for the nuts and bolts of this run, the nitty-gritty stuff. Yeah, smashing A there.
So that reset after the save, that actually skips a pretty long cutscene of kind of flashbacks of what happened up to that point. So the reset saves quite a bit of time there.
There's a couple tricks coming up that are super technical, and ZFG is going to explain them while I actually do them.
After another cutscene.
Yep, more cutscenes for now, though.
We got a $5 donation from Rain. Good luck, Thief Bug and Phil. I know you'll crush this run. Logs, 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 logs. Go Toblerone, boys. From Rain.
The logs actually were a disaster.
Zolch donated $50. Hey everyone, Zolch here. My grandmother died of lung cancer when I was young, so I did not get to know her well. I did not wish this on my worst enemy. What memories I do have, I will cherish always. Here's to kicking cancer's butt and not ever having to deal with something like that again. Shoutouts to my waifu, Insomnia 2, Enop, Thief Bug, and Tony. Lots of love from Zolchi. We got an anonymous $50 donation. Hyped for all the runs tonight. Also, hearing the announcer butcher my name. Shoutouts to all the runners for being awesome and putting on a great show every year. Anonymous?
All right, so when Cycle 2 starts, well, it already started, but once we exit Clocktown again as a human and we get control of Link, the first objective is going to be to buy explosives. And the best way to do that, I mean, a really nice thing about this game is that there's just a bomb shop that you can just visit and purchase a bomb bag and have bombs and bomb shoes from the start. So we can definitely exploit that and take advantage of it. So what we're going to do is we're going to go grab an East Clocktown rupee chest, which contains 99 rupees, and then just use that to buy our bomb bag and 10 bomb shoes, and then we can proceed to do our first big trick of the run. And that's called Index Warp. It is the glitch that was found 3 days after ZFG's run last year. And essentially what it does is it allows you to travel to any of the owls in the game without ever activating them. So it definitely makes for a lot of sequence breaks. ZFG is going to go into it a little bit more when I actually perform the trick, because there's a couple of criteria for actually being able to use it.
Tom Sturton donated $20. I have no idea what save or kill the animals is. I'm an AGDQ noob. Have some money, kill cancer. Saving the animals is wrong and killing the animals is right. That's all you need to know. Seriously though, it's in Super Metroid at the end. It's a small detour to save the animals, which means you lose frames. And that's not what we're here for. Ceremony donated $72. Take these rupees to stop cancer. You've got 72 hours.
All right, nice. We're out of there. So we're past the boring stuff, finally. So just this quick little text, and then we can finally gain control of Link. And this is that moment that I like to consider the point where the run just kind of takes off. You're going to notice I'm just not going to stop moving here. So let's go grab that rupee chest now. All right, so now let's go to the bomb shop and buy explosives. A little thing also, rolling is the best way to move when you need to turn and stuff, but without explosives or Goron rolling, backwalking is actually the fastest method of movement. But because we're not going in a straight line, it's better to roll.
It's also better for longer distances, while rolls are better for shorter distances.
All right, nice. So we're going to grab a bomb bag here. All right, and now I'm going to perform the first big trick called index warping.
Okay, so this is where the big tricks come in. So the first thing Phil's going to do is a glitch called the infinite sword glitch, where he reads this sign while crouch stabbing, Now that, basically you see his sword is kind of glowing. That sword is now swinging constantly. And with this glitch, you can feel an explosion in the air and kind of hover. And you keep doing it over and over to gain a huge amount of height. What he's doing is to hover over the loading zone of these stairs and get to this part and hit this owl. Now, normally there is an owl in South Clocktown, but the owl he hit is actually in North Clocktown. And there's not a real owl there. So what hitting that owl does is when he gets a Song of Soaring and actually plays it, there's actually no real owls he hit yet. So it's actually going to take the last place his cursor was on the map to determine where he can possibly soar. And the other glitch he just did there is Song of Time storage.
Song of Double Time.
Song of Double Time. So he hovered over the void and then mashed the ocarina button to fall while playing the ocarina. And then he played Song of Double Time. Now, before this song completely finished, he voided out, and that stored the text, so that the next time any text box would come up, the Song of Double Time text would come up, and he activated that text as soon as he activated a text box, that text came up, and he could activate that text to make it the next night immediately while moving.
So now I'm going to do a trick called the Grotto Alternate Exit.
So the first place Phil wants to go is the Deku Palace to get the song to open the first dungeon. And so he's going to go in this grotto. So all of the grottos in this game are on the same map actually, but only one is fully loaded at the same time, or at a time. So what he's going to do is hover out of this grotto, and this grotto does not have a ceiling, so it's very easy to just hover out if you have enough explosives. So he's going to hover out of this one, and then backflip into another one very close to this one. And try to get to the loading zone from that grotto.
All right, nice.
Fall into this next grotto, and this grotto is actually one in the Deku Palace. And now in the Deku Palace, he's going to try to do
Rip. Okay, 1 sec.
A very quick hover to get on the little wooden post there and try to hover up to the platform. And then from there, jump up to the room with the monkey and get the Sonata of Awakening for the first dungeon. Alright.
The trick's really timing specific.
Nice, okay.
Also,
Those are really crazy looking jumps. It looks like you're not going to make it, but there's actually a weird hit detection on both of those platforms, and you can actually clip onto them. And it's consistent.
Also, one little interesting note about the grottos in the Deku Palace, they're actually only there on the Japanese version. Right? You can only enter them on the Japanese version. They actually still exist on the English version, and you can get into them with the same glitch, but there's no like real entrance to them in the English version.
Can I read one? Can I read a donation? Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
We got a $1,000 donation from Balthazar228.
Wow. Wow.
Go imagine Phil. Show them what a lifetime of eating Toblerone and drinking iced caps can do for your Majora's Mask skills. It's your choice if you can guess whether you'll fail an even or odd number of bomb hovers / mega flips. Rock on, dude.
Base Balthazar.
Do you think you'll fail an even or odd number of bomb hovers / mega flips? Even or odd number of failed mega flips and or bomb hovers?
Odd.
Okay. I'll write that down.
Just keeping track of that.
There are no mega flips in this run, so 0.
Zero's even.
All right, so we got the Sonata of Awakening. That's going to be used to get into Woodfall Temple later. Right now, we're going to go get Song of Soaring, because that's one of the main things we need to do for being able to use the Index Warp glitch. So we can actually clip up onto this little seam over here. Little shortcut, makes things faster. And we can learn the song. Everybody's favorite owl.
Zelda Lover donated $50. We save frames, not animals. Majora's Mask hype.
I think he'll.
Hype. All right, so really cool trick coming up right here. Because we're going from the back of the swamp to the front, we have to work our way around a couple of obstacles. This one is called the reverse octo skip because we're going from the reverse side, I guess. So we shield drop a bomb here, grab this ledge, turn around. If we equip the Deku mask and get a recoil, we can swing past them. All right, cool. So now we're on this side of the swamp. I'm collecting rupees because I'm gonna need them to buy bomb chews later. So I can actually kill or take out this beehive if I get a good bubble. Okay, and he'll drop a red rupee. So that'll give me a nice rupee count. I have to be careful when I'm bouncing on these lily pads. If I void out in the water, it puts me at the last spot I was standing before I got on a lily pad. So I definitely want to make sure I don't do that because it's quite a bad time loss. I'm picking up a Deku stick and Deku nut. You're going to see me use those later for a cool trick called bottle duping. So let's grab Deku Nut. I picked up the Deku Nut as a human there because there's quick text. This is a super slide. Lets me travel fast. Oh, I targeted the turtle. Okay. That trick was a Hess. It's basically the same thing as a super slide, but it gives me movement and I can actually change the direction I'm going. I hate that turtle because when you target him, you lose the angle and you can't complete the entire thing. But you're actually able to perform that trick all the way to the witch here. And it's really nice. It saves about 12 seconds if done properly. But at least I got to show a little bit of it. Funny thing about that trick is if I press the button on the wrong frame, I can actually crash the game, and that would have been awesome.
DFS donated $100. I love this event because it lets me push video talk on people I would normally not. Keep up the good work. P.S. Let's save those animals. Sometimes doing the right thing takes time.
All right, so we got a red potion. I'm going to use it in a second. You saw me put the cursor on Deku Palace there on the map. That's the place I need to put the cursor for when I play Song of Soaring. If you saw, when I pulled up the Song of Soaring hover menu, or like where I wanted to travel with Song of Soaring, there was nothing on the map because I haven't visited anywhere yet. It relates to where you place the cursor on the pause menu. So that Deku Palace placement actually puts me in Mountain Village, and you can see the owl isn't activated. And that's how I take advantage of that owl that I hit. So I'm going to drink this red potion, and pay close attention to my C buttons. You're going to see me transform those items into bottles. That's one. Ooh, I failed that one. Okay, so it's not a problem. The good thing about this trick is you can try it a few times. So what I can do over here is actually just make my way over here and then recapture the fairy and try it again.
Link80 donated $20 saying, yeah, 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 yeah.
So the way this trick works is, what Phil's doing is holding very slightly outside the dead zone on the control stick, which is known as ESS position. And this is where Link kind of turns but not moves. And then what he does is press the fairy, and then immediately after, presses the button of the item he wants to dupe over. So then there's this little delay between the fairy coming out, or pressing the fairy on the bottle and when it comes out. And by pressing the other item he wants to dupe over, the game remembers that as the last item that he pressed and thinks that, oh, that's the item that's the button that's supposed to, where the empty bottle is supposed to go. So it actually puts an empty bottle over that item. But it only works for the items that Link doesn't hold in his hands. So, like, that's why I needed to break the Deku Stick and get rid of the Deku Nut, so that it'd be 0.
Alright, let's work our way up here. So I'm going to Goron Village right now. I still have to dupe 2 more bottles, which I'll create when I get to Great Bay. There's a place to do that. But if you're watching, I just kind of went to Goron Village and I just left. And there's a reason for that. The cursor of Goron Village on the pause menu actually correlates to soaring to Stone Tower when I play the Song of Soaring. And that's a major time saver because now we can actually skip climbing Stone Tower because of that. So you're just going to see me go to the top of Stone Tower and then deal with Stone Tower Temple right away instead of having to climb the tower. And that has a couple benefits. One, it takes time to climb the tower, and two, it's a very difficult climb because you're doing difficult tricks like mega flips if you want to optimize the climb. On top of that, it's actually affecting your bomb count. So when you do Stone Tower Temple, originally when you did it with climbing Stone Tower, there were not that many explosives to work with when you got to the top because you had to use a lot of them to climb the tower itself. But now that we can start at the top of the tower, we have a maximum bomb count to work with, and it actually makes it a lot easier because we're able to take out a lot of risk from the tricks involved in the dungeon.
FN Matrix donated $100. Thought I should donate during my favorite game series, Kill the Animals. And MIT Math Guy donated $100. Anyone curious to try out the famous birthday problem? In a room with 30 people, there's a remarkable 70% chance that 2 of them share the same birthday. If everyone does a birthday roll call, day and month only, year not necessary, just start clapping if you hear someone say your birthday. Let's see if math works. All the runners and donors have been fantastic. Let's beat cancer together. So everyone yell out your birthday, I guess? Did it work? Guys, math doesn't work anymore. All right. Oh, well. That's a shame. Fallen Star donated $123.45. I wanted to donate to help kill the animals. My wife wanted to donate to save the animals. So this donation is going towards me not sleeping on the couch. I mean, to saving the animals. Shout outs to everyone working behind the scenes at AGDQ to make this marathon possible. Way to go, guys.
All right, so we're just going to grab the Zora mask here. And we're going to start working on egg collecting after I finish duping those 2 bottles that I didn't get to do before. And essentially the duping is important because we have to collect the 7 Zora eggs scattered in Great Bay in order to learn the Nue Bossa Nova, which in turn lets us enter Great Bay Temple. The thing is, if we only use the 1 bottle we had gotten from the witch, we'd only have 1 bottle, and that would mean we'd have to make a ton of trips just to get the 7 eggs. But by being able to create artificial bottles over our items, we're able to just make 2 trips, 1 to the Pinnacle Rock area where there's 3 eggs, and 1 to the Pirates Fortress area where there's 4. So we're going to go to Pirates Fortress first, and then work our way straight into Pinnacle Rock and collect the 7 eggs. Cool, so we have Zora Mask now. Cool thing is we only need Deku Mask and Zora Mask in this run. I won't get any other mask. 2 masks is enough.
Willu10 donated $60. Hi from France. It's my second AGDQ. This event is so amazing. Good job, and thanks to everybody for this. Hype!
Okay. So let's do this trick now. Stand over here and equip 1 and 2. That's 1. When you hear that sound, that means that the dupe worked. 2. Okay, good. All right, so now we can equip Deku Mask, Zora Mask, and bombs, and we can work our way. Ooh, okay, I hit the water there. I tried to go around there. It's a nice little trick to go faster. So you notice I equipped the Deku Mask first, then the Zora Mask. Normally when you get a transformation mask and you equip it for the first time, there's a little cutscene that Link goes into the transformation. We only did that with the Deku Mask because it was the first one we received. But once you're wearing a transformation mask, you can actually skip the other transformation cutscenes for the first time, as long as you're wearing one of the other ones. So that's why I equipped Deku before Zora, just to not have to watch that transformation. All right, so Pirates Fortress. Pirates Fortress is a very cool part of the run. There's a lot of interesting ways to get around a lot of the objectives you have to complete. And we're going to start with this area. And as I go through it, I'll kind of just explain what it is I'm doing. So if I mentioned before that the Pirates Fortress is different in JP, with Japanese version over English, and that's because the pirates have poor vision. You can see I'm doing Zora dives, and they can't see me. So we're able to exploit that and actually grab the hook shot really early. So normally what we have to do is have the Goron mask, pound that switch, and then go into the the tunnels in order to get to the other side. But by doing bomb hovers, we can stand on our bomb explosions and work our way across. So the cool thing about MM is they give you a ton of these little shortcuts to kind of bypass things, assuming you already have the item requirement. But because bomb hovers are such a nice way to, like, I guess, staircase your way to different things, you can take advantage of those systems. So now we've crossed and we skipped the entire underwater tunnel thing, and we can enter the main fortress area. So next objective is hookshot. We need to get it. I'm going to be attempting a trick here called the Pirate's Fortress long jump. There is a safe way to do it, but I'm going to try and do it the fast, cool way. So it could miss, but we have a lot of bombs to work with, so that's nice. So quick super slide. Carries up the staircase here. And then we work our way to the door.
In this room, you'll see exactly how poor the pirate's vision is.
So in English, you can't get past this pirate. I just got past her here. All right, so bomb clips onto the barrel. Nice, I got it. Okay. Shoutouts to Fanir who found that one. It's really neat how the hitbox detection on that crate actually clips the bomb onto the barrel, and you have a perfect bomb boost from the barrel onto the tank, and the pirates don't see you. It's really cool. All right, so now we've emptied the room, unleashed the bees. We can grab our first egg and proceed to grab the hook shot.
Remember
Cool.
that if you do donate during the Majora's Mask run of at least $10, you'll be entered to win the Link hat and scarf, and at least $20 for the Majora's Mask painting.
All right, so really cool thing about Pirate's Fortress. Normally, when you go through it casually, there's these pirate fights, and they're kind of the things that guard the eggs. So you normally fight a pirate and then collect the egg and move on to the next one. But you can enter the exits of those areas and skip the pirate fights. So for example, that area over there is one of the exits, and that's for egg number 2. So if I look this way and do a jump slash, I can recoil into the alleyway, and now I'm in. So then we can skip the fight and just get the egg. All right, cool. That's a nice little trick too. You can actually quick grab, actually I'm gonna grab some hearts here just to be safe. We can grab the ledges of the water quickly in the tank just to make sure we don't bonk on the wall by accident. It's like a fast way to get out of the tank. All right, so the next exit we can enter is around this wall. It looks like we're gonna jump off into nothing, but we can actually jump around. And now we can enter the exit of room number 3. So if we hookshot this nice little spot over here, we can actually enter the tank, and we can actually empty bugs out in a tank. I didn't know that till recently. So that's kind of cool. And then we can grab egg number 3. All right, so egg number 4 is the only one that there's no faster way, or at least efficiently consistent fast way to skip the pirate fight and get the egg and save time. So what we do is we kind of just do it the normal way, fight the pirate and collect egg number 4. So we can hookshot over here. This is another example of the pirate's vision being incredible. Watch this. So purposely side hopping there just to show you that they can't see. All right, so let's fight this pirate. All right, she goes down. The pirate is interesting. The pirates always take 8 hits to take down, but if you have really good forward slashes, you can actually get 2 hits per slash, so it looks like you kill her in 4 hits, but each one hit twice. All right, so you saw me do that bottle dupe technique, where I created those bottles by just kind of slightly moving my control stick. You're gonna see, I can do the exact same thing here. Actually, I have to get this chest, so I'm gonna demonstrate it after. And that's just because of the rupee route. So I can get out of the tank and then just equip the ocarina. But you're gonna see a glitch after this. By doing the exact same technique, I'm able to play the ocarina underwater. which is not supposed to be able to be done. And I don't even have to have an ocarina equipped. So it actually really works out in the Pinnacle Rock area, which is where I'm going next to collect the 3 remaining eggs that we have to get. What we used to have to do was we'd go to Pinnacle Rock, and we'd go and collect the 3 eggs, and then we'd have to swim out of Pinnacle Rock. And it was just like super slow because going all the way to the bottom and going all the way back up takes a lot of time. But because of this underwater ocarina glitch, what we're able to do is we can actually just collect the eggs in a, first of all, faster method. And then what we're able to do is just play the ocarina from the bottom of Pinnacle Rock and leave. And it avoids having to swim back out. So you're going to see that in about 1.5 minutes, 2 minutes, give or take. So we have to deposit the 3 eggs here. 4 eggs.
Mikey179 donated $50. Mikey here again. I'm a man of my word. Everyone high-fived. Here's your $50. Put this to announcer's choice, please. Let's kill those animals. And $66.66 from Mary Sue. Shoutouts to Lunk.
All right. So when we go to Pinnacle Rock, if you're familiar with Ocarina of Time, you might be familiar with the Wasteland area there. And normally what happens is, when you go to the Wasteland area, you have to follow a certain path. And if you don't make the path, you void out. Also, it's very important that I got into Pinnacle Rock, because now when it turns day, I don't void out because of the cutscene. It just turns day, yeah. So this is the same thing over here. I'm following a path. And not voiding out. But you're noticing that I'm just dolphin diving at the top. And that's actually faster. The Zora moves quicker when he's dolphin diving as opposed to when he's at the bottom. And if you know the amount of dolphin dives that you need to do in each part of the, like, I guess the section of not voiding out, you can actually do the entire thing without ever looking at the signs at the bottom. So doing those dives definitely saves a few seconds. So let's grab our last 3 eggs. And you're going to notice I'm going to grab the one at the bottom at the end because I no longer have to leave Pinnacle Rock. So going to the bottom at the end is now fast. All right, that's 2.
The Waffler donated $75. Why aren't more people killing the animals? Let's get our act together in the speedrun marathon.
All right, final egg. So watch this, underwater ocarina. And we can just leave. Nice. So coming up, we're going to deposit the next 3 eggs. And then we're going to learn the New Wave Bossa Nova. But if you remember at the beginning of the run, I talked about cutscene skips in this game, and we're coming up to another one that we're able to do. Because, like I mentioned, cutscenes take 2 frames to activate. The thing about the New Wave Bossa Nova learning cutscene is that you learn the song as soon as you press the ocarina button, which triggers the cutscene. So what you can do is press ocarina and then pause before 2 frames pass, and you can pause on the frame before it executes the cutscene. And then what you can do is just soar away, and then what happens is you learn the song without ever actually watching the cutscene, or watch the cutscene. And then what we can do is just start from the owl statue. So we'll just deposit this final egg, and then I'll perform the cutscene skip. So there's 2 coming up, actually. This was the first one. The second one is a lot more difficult because I time it. So it's a frame-perfect pause, and I'm going to try and time it and press pause once instead of mashing for the cutscene. Mashing is inconsistent, but if you use a visual cue that I have, I can actually get the pause pretty consistently, even though it's a frame-perfect trick. The game runs at 20 frames per second, so it's not that bad. It just sounds really difficult. All right, nice. I got 1. So now we just learned Nue Bossa Nova, even though it looks like we didn't learn anything. All right, so we're gonna make our way to Great Bay, or Zora Cape. This is a cool little trick. Gotta add some flair. Also, we have 69 rupees, that's awesome. All right, so coming up is a very, I guess this split is a very make it or break it part of the run, because missing the cutscene skip here, it costs 50 seconds. It's not the end of the world, but hitting it allows us to perform a follow-up trick, which I'll try to demonstrate after. Just grab the safety fairy. All right. One pause. Oh, I missed. Okay. Okay, so what's gonna happen is, if I would have gotten the pause, I can actually buffer my way into Zora Hall, and then because I'm buffering one frame at a time, I actually start the cutscene and then enter Zora Hall, canceling out the effect of the cutscene, and then I have the cutscene activated without watching it in the first place. Because I'm going to showcase this entire thing, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to try and demonstrate the Pirates cutscene skip, which would have been the follow-up trick to missing if I would have hit this cutscene skip. The Pirates cutscene skip is probably my favorite trick in the run. It looks really cool. It's like there's a lot of things happening with it. There's a very high rate of failure on the trick, so there's probably a very good chance I'm going to miss it, but I still want to try and hit it once. There's a couple of reasons for that. One, I need to line up with a certain part of the wall in order to make sure that when I do a hook shot, I don't enter the loading zone on the turtle that takes me to Great Bay Temple. The second part is I have to use a fairy, and I have to perform a glitch called time stop, which I'll demonstrate and explain when I'm doing the trick. The fairy, though, is RNG. So because the fairy's RNG, I need to catch it in a bottle, and if it just behaves in such a manner that it touches me and it heals me, I can't grab it anymore, and that's the end of the trick. So I'm going to try and go for it. If I miss it, it's not a big deal, but it would definitely be something to showcase. So it's not worth going for that cutscene skip if you fail the first one, and that's because you have to watch this Zora Hall cutscene, which you would have watched if you skipped the first cutscene. So that's why it's not worth going for if you don't do it. But let's try this out. Let's see if we can get it. Okay, good. So we can back walk out here. Come on, fairy. Fairy wasn't behaving. Couldn't do it. So you saw that the fairy's RNG. The fairy disappears if you don't catch it in time. And I needed the fairy to actually get into the range of me being able to capture it in a bottle. And then what would have happened is I would have entered where I would have stood where I'm standing right now, and you're seeing me go to this cutscene. But what would have happened is it wouldn't have started because I would have been in a state called time stop. And essentially what time stop is it's the transition between you trying to take an item out of a bottle, but you're able to freely roam around as Link. And you'll see me demonstrate it later to get into Stone Tower Temple. And it's really cool because when you enter an area that's supposed to have a loading zone or a trigger to start a cutscene, nothing happens while you're in that state. So what I'm doing is I'm going into that area to activate this cutscene while in time stop so it doesn't take me away. And then I'm going to the area where I entered Zora Hall, canceling the glitch by buffering one frame at a time because, again, the 2-frame rule applies where, like, if you buffer 2 frames, the cutscene starts, and then entering it without having buffer 2 frames, and then I can skip that too. So then I would just be here right away. The total amount of time save on those 2 cutscenes is about 1 minute and 5 seconds. It's a lot of time.
If you like Great Bay Temple, it's really too bad for you.
All right, Great Bay Temple goes by very slowly. So with a little movement here. All right, I finished the dungeon. That was it. All All right, so I'm gonna explain what just happened there. When you enter a dungeon, all the boss doors, the loading zones are behind the door or the graphic of the door. But essentially, when you're in a dungeon, it only loads the room you're presently in. But all the other areas are there; they're just unloaded. All the actors aren't there, and all the graphics for those rooms aren't there, including the loading zone behind the boss door. So it just so happens that the way they designed this dungeon is you can actually recoil flip, which is what I did with that bomb there, got speed off the explosion, and touch the loading zone of the boss door, which is in range from the first room. So you can clear the whole thing in 20 seconds. So then we just fight Gaior again and move on.
So there's a nice strat for Gaior here where you can kind of get him to like run up against the center platform. And you can just start going up and down, and he kind of gets trapped there, and you can't move around very much. Easy to kill him. To do that strat, however, you have to wait until he charges.
He was close there. When he gets really close to the platform, it's really hard to react to him. So it's nice when he's kind of just a little bit away. I can see what he's doing. All right, I got him. Not a big deal at all. So then we can just take him down in 2 different cycles. So that was the first one, was the first 5, and he goes down. All right, so a couple things. You saw me skip basically the entire dungeon. The other ones don't really work the same way. There's a couple extra things we're gonna have to do for them. But essentially, the idea is the same thing, where what we wanna do is we wanna find a way to skip getting the boss key and go around and touch the loading zone of the boss loading zone and enter the boss room and kill the boss. So you're gonna see the different methods for clearing each of the dungeons in that way. An important thing about this cutscene, we have to watch this cutscene, and the reason for that is because we need to learn the Oath to Order. If we don't have that song, we can't beat the game because we can't summon the 4 giants to stop the moon to fight Majora. So it is a mandatory requirement to watch at least one of these cutscenes in order to learn that song. It just so happens that it's conveniently the best one to watch is this one for Great Bay, because if you're familiar with the game, what normally happens is when you beat one of the dungeons, there's always an effect that happens into that particular region after you've cleared it. So for example, in Northern Mountains, where Snowhead Temple is, it ends up actually becoming spring, and you see the snow melt, and that's a whole other cutscene in itself. In Woodfall and in Southern Swamp, the poison water becomes normal water, and there's actually like a ramp that rises so you can actually save the Deku Princess, which is part of the story. But in Great Bay, when you clear and learn the song, you just land back on the platform, the turtle talks to you really quickly, and then you just move on. You get control of Link right away. So it's the fastest one to watch because when the thing is finished, you do this quick text, and then you can move on with the run.
I just want to remind you, we are getting a lot of donations, and unfortunately, we just don't have the time to read all of them on air, but we are receiving all of them, and so we definitely really appreciate that. Now, you'll automatically be entered into the prizes if you donate the required amount, so make sure that you're putting your money towards a donation incentive if you do donate. Runner Guy's groupie donated $50. Link is Bay.
All right, so just look how quick this works. We land. All right, nice. Do a couple of quips. And we can soar away. I'm going to Clock Town right now. I'm going to go buy more bomb chews. I'm going to need them in order to do the Woodfall Temple boss key skip, which is essentially what we did in Great Bay, but it's a little more complex in Woodfall. And ZFG is going to explain that as I perform the trick, so you'll have kind of like a play-by-play of what's happening. Also, you might notice I had those 69 rupees. When you buy bomb chews, it actually costs 80 rupees to buy 2 sets of 10. But it actually works out that you can buy a second set as long as your rupee counter is above the required price. So if I mash fast enough, I can actually pick up an extra 10 bomb chews before the counter drops below 40. Nice. All right, so right there, you saw me put the cursor on Mountain Village. And with index warping, it just so happens that if I put the cursor on Mountain Village, it takes me to Woodfall. So I don't ever have to visit Woodfall, I kind of just fly there. Boom. All right. That's the only reason we needed Sonata of Awakening. If we can get into Woodfall Temple in any other way, we could not need that song.
The loading zone for Woodfall Temple is actually below the map, and for some loading zones you can actually like hover under the map to try to get it, but there's a bunch of water under this loading zone, and if you hit out of bounds water in this game, you actually get voided out immediately. So there's no way to actually get into it. It's very close. So close, but so far.
All right, so I'm targeting there. That's actually lag reduction. Save some frames, I guess. All right, so we got the hook shot pretty early on. You're going to notice that I got a whole bunch of stuff out of the way in the first half, and then the last half of the game is kind of just clearing all the dungeons. The hook shot plays a huge role in this because we're actually able to use the hook shot to clear the dungeons super quick. For example, I can hook shot this, and that clears out this entire room. Then kind of the objective of this dungeon is to get onto the second floor to get the bow. And that's a whole ordeal. But if we hookshot this, we can get onto the second floor. So that avoids a whole bunch of different objectives that we don't have to do. And now we can get the bow. So there's a strat to kill this guy with, and push him towards the chest where it spawns. 2 crouch stabs and he goes down like that. And that's called a power crouch stab. So essentially what I did there was I did a jump slash to get onto the second floor, if you remember. And a crouch stab in this game actually has the damage properties of the last attack you did previous to that. And thus the name power crouch stab. So a jump slash essentially was what I did to the Lizalfos twice. I hit him with 2 power crouch stabs that had the power of a jump slash. So now, ZFG is going to explain something called an ocarina dive and the boss key skip.
All right, so what Phil's going to do here first is clip out of bounds with this little part of the wall here, and then stab with Zora and pull out the ocarina immediately to try to fall out of bounds and play the Song of Time. So just like what he did with Song of Double Time early on, he's going to store the Song of Time text. Now the next time a text box comes up, the Song of Time text is going to come up, and he can then choose to save if he wants to. So now he's going to clip out of bounds again, and this time he's going to do a really big hover with all these explosives. So to the right now is this really huge room. It's this room before the boss room. I think it's the biggest room in the dungeon, and if he goes inbounds, you kind of get like stuck because there's nothing in that room except the collision, and so he has to hover all the way around this room with this really big hover, and that bomb drop is actually to make the moths go away. The moths actually can mess up your hover and actually knock you down,
Nice.
but they're attracted to the bomb.
Alright, so now we can fight Odolowa. I'm going to kill Odolowa with style. There's a strat you can do with a bomb. Probably one of the coolest, but more fashionable strats. It doesn't really save too much time. It just looks really cool. Arrow to the knee. 1. Bomb drop. Do my equips. Activate Zora. Stun him. Bomb does the work.
So now you saw I activated the text box for the Song of Time. Now it's asking him if he wants to go back to the save. So he's going to save right now
Yep.
and reset.
So
he just got the remains and saved. So the game saved that he got the remains and then reset so he doesn't have to watch the entire cutscene. And now he's going to restart back at the first day with the remains. No cutscene needs to be watched, and he can move directly on from there.
Yeah, because we got the Oath to Order already, there's no need to watch these giant cutscenes. Normally, you're not able to save after you kill a boss, but because we activated the text box, it remained on the screen after I killed him, and I was able to save as soon as I got the remains. And as soon as I make contact with the remains like that and save, it immediately stores them in my inventory. All right, so, oops, that's RNG manipulation. So, Cycle 3 and 4 have a very similar start. Cycle being starting from a fresh dawn of the first day. Basically what we're doing is we need the bombs because they're the backbone to this run. And we're going to go to the bomb store, pick up bongs, and then clear each dungeon one after the other. So we're going to deal with Snowhead first, and then we're going to deal with Stone Tower Temple. So again, we have to do that whole buy 20 chews for 69 rupees. It's not a big deal if I miss it. All I got to do is go and Termina, pick up a couple of rupees, and then purchase the chews. But of course, it's a little faster if we don't have to do that. So hopefully I don't miss. Okay, good. That's 2. There's 1 more of those in the next cycle. So again, we're going to Woodfall. And you're probably being like, well, we need to go to Snowhead. Why are we going to Woodfall? That's because I'm going to do a trick called the Fairy Fountain Alternate Exit. And basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the Fairy Fountain to get to Snowhead. Because we haven't visited there yet, and I don't have the spot on my cursor for the map to get to Snowhead. Also, the wind is blowing in Snowhead, and we'd need the Goron Lullaby to be able to scale the ramp to get into Snowhead. But because we're not going to get the Goron Lullaby, we're going to perform a trick called the Lullaby Skip. And ZFG is going to basically walk you through it as I perform it.
All right, so as he's entering this fairy fountain, so as I mentioned with the grottos earlier, how all the grottos are on the same map, the same applies to the fairy fountains. They're all on the same map as well. So what he's going to do here is hover out of this fairy fountain and hover into the one next to it, which corresponds to the fairy fountain at Snowhead, which very conveniently is very close to the temple, and then he's going to try to get up to the temple from there.
All right.
Now, as soon as he exits the fairy fountain, there's going to be this huge gust of wind from this invisible Goron that you're supposed to put to sleep with the lullaby. What he's going to do to avoid falling off is slash the sword immediately, and that prevents you from falling. You can't fall off a ledge while swinging your sword, which is the entire reason the infinite sword glitch works as it does, how you can't fall off ledges with it. And so then after that, he gets the infinite sword glitch, so he can hopefully make the way up to Snowhead without falling off. And coming up here, this wind is extremely strong and will push back even a super slide. But what he can do is try to super slide between intervals of the blowing snow and hopefully get far enough back so that he can get
good.
Enough back. All right.
I buffered that. I normally go for that without pause buffering or C up. The reason I did that was because I actually got a frame-perfect bomb pull, and that's completely by accident, to be honest. And that's a good thing. And that's because if you pull the bomb out right as the wind starts, it allows me to be careful and capitalize on that wind, because there's a very high rate of success. I'm actually going to wait here, because I don't want to get hit by a snowball. Otherwise, I have to start from the bottom of the fairy fountain again.
And you also saw he blew up a snowball earlier, right after exiting the fountain. That actually destroyed the snowball, which is supposed to spawn right in front of him right here. So that makes it pretty safe getting up the last part here.
Yeah, and sometimes you have to use an extra bomb chew to blow that up. And you need 10 bomb chews to scale the dungeon optimally. All right, nice. We're in. Nice. That's good. So yeah, you need 10 bomb chews to scale the dungeon optimally. I have 9 because I accidentally did one hover that didn't give me any height. But that's okay, we can just substitute a bomb for it. Okay, good, I got a bomb drop from there. That makes life a little easier because the more bombs we have here, the more of a safety net we have. So I'm gonna go down here, and there's a bomb drop over here, and now we've got plenty of explosives to work with it. I can void out in lava and spawn where I was originally entering the room from. That's a cool little way to jump across. So I can use a hook shot again. Normally you need the Goron to do this roll, but I can actually, hang on a sec, just aim there and target this crate and actually hook shot my way across. pull out the stick for some swag. Okay, this is a trick called a weird shot. 1 second. Okay, nice. That's an unbuffered weird shot. I'm able to dislocate the first-person camera of a hookshot from Link's position, and I'm actually able to hookshot things I wasn't able to reach in the first place. So I was actually able to put the camera out of bounds and reach that chest and make my way to the 3rd floor. These are bomb boosts. The way jumping works in this game is the distance you go is based on speed. So if you see me do roll jumps, you'll actually notice my jumps will be a little better and go further. With a bomb, if I get a ton of speed off the explosion and I'm at the corner, I use that speed to travel really far distances with my jumps. All right, so I'm going to store Infinite Sword Glitch. And I have a power crouch stab of a Deku Stick, which is like the strongest attack. So that way I'm able to take Wiz Rope out super quickly. I just kind of stand here. I can even do something like this, where I pull out the sword and see you later. So basically what happened there is if you fight Wiz Rope normally, there's 2 phases. The first phase is where you just hit him a couple times, and then the second phase, he tries to start a cutscene where he spawns a couple holograms, and then he tries to trick you into which one's the real one. But there's 2 frames in between there where you can actually hit him. It might even be 1, I'm not sure. But what happens is, because he never gets the chance to spawn the cutscene, he just gets hit twice and dies, and it's a fast Wiz Rope fight. All right, so grab an arrow drop, and we're going to finish off this dungeon. So again, trusty hookshot, making things a little easier. I can hookshot this torch over here, make my way to floor number 4. Get into the corner, and I mean, that's where I want to be. So I want to aim over there, do a hover, equip my choose. Okay, so I hovered up here. I'm gonna use fire arrows just to be safe. I want to make sure I have enough explosives. So that's good. All right, so like in Woodfall Temple, you saw me store a Song of Time in order to save as I grab the remains to not have to watch the cutscene. The way to do it in this dungeon is to fall all the way down here. And I can get Infinite Sword Glitch off this ice, see? And then what I can do is I can hookshot there, clip out of bounds, and fall. Nice. All right, so now that we have the song stored, we're gonna do the boss key skip. This is a really cool boss key skip. Again, shout out to Fanir for finding an optimized Snowhead boss key skip. This one is probably the coolest in my opinion. Let's see if I can hit it. So I purposely lined the camera up after hitting the ramp there, and that's for a particular reason. I need this angle for this boss key skip to work. So I land, do a shield turn, pull out the bomb, go around the door. Do a little equip here. All right, so Goat has really cool artificial intelligence in this game. You can actually exploit it really badly. If I stand here, it's kind of like a sweet spot, and I'm able to do this. Ooh, okay. Oh, I missed that one. Okay, it's okay. All right, he's done. All right, so that's one of the cooler boss fights. Something almost happened that we were actually just like, we weren't sure if it was gonna happen or not. We were taking bets. You saw that stalactite fall. That stalactite is a big problem. It's random, complete RNG, and essentially what happens is when the stalactites start falling after you've hit them a few times, the place where they land is totally random. And what you want to do is you want to make sure, hang on, let me just save reset. Perfect, we have the remains. So that stalactite, if it falls in the trajectory that you're shooting Goat, it blocks you and you can't hit him. and it basically ruins the entire strat, and you're not able to complete a fast goat fight. I got really lucky on that one. Like, that thing landed like right next to where my arrow trajectory was. I was able to make those last few shots count. But yeah, it's completely random, and the fight itself isn't RNG, but that stalactite portion of it is. All right, so cycle 4. So now that we cleared Snowhead, we have Stone Tower Temple is left. And like I said, this looks very similar to the cycle 3. We're gonna go over here. I never explained that. That's called a gainer. It's a forward backflip. Allows me to grab ledges that I'm not supposed to normally reach. So I can get this chest super quickly with Zora. And again, we're gonna go to the bomb shop and perform that trick to buy 20 bomb shoes when we don't have enough money. And then you're gonna see why I went to Goron Village in the first place. Now, Stone Tower Temple is really neat. It has a lot of weird shots, which you saw I demonstrated in Snowhead. And it also has a really cool trick called the sunblock clip, which I'll demonstrate. Nice. I got every single one of those. That's good. All right. So if you remember when I was trying to demonstrate the Pirates cutscene skip, which is that trick that almost never works, I wanted to do a thing called time stop, but it's kind of hard to like visualize what I was talking about because it's like I don't understand what he means by being in the middle of a transition of trying to, you know, use an item but having movement. So I grab this fairy, and I can take advantage of time stop here. So I step on this. The platform goes away if I step off the platform. You normally need the elegy for this. But if I aim here, this is time stop. So now I can get off the platform, cutscenes don't activate. When I release time stop, the thing carries me. And it's also called time stop because there's no in-game clock in that when you're in that mode. All right, so Stone Tower Temple. Normally very complex and has a lot of difficult things. I'm gonna skip the sunblock over here using a trick called the sunblock clip. Go into the room, pull out a bomb, get in the corner, target this corner, shield drop it, and through the wall. All right, so that avoids that. We can go grab a key now. Okay, that puts me up there. That's a good angle. Grab the key. And then in the previous room, there's a locked door we can use the key on. Shoutouts to One Hand, by the way, that guy. Okay, so we go over here. All right, see, that's what I was trying to do with those quick grabs in the Pirate's Fortress tank. You have to press A at a certain spot, and you can grab ledges quicker. All right, so here's where the weird shots come in. 2 quick weird shots. That's the first one. Good. And the second one in this updraft room. Nice. All right, now we gotta fight Garo Master. He's gonna give us the light arrow. We need light arrow to flip Stone Tower.
Fire arrows here actually do a bit more damage than anything else.
All right, so that was a really bad fight. I just took a ton of damage there. That was really bad. But we killed him. All right, so we can grab light arrows now. Oh my god, that was so bad. Okay, so that was really bad. I just probably lost like 5 minutes. RIP. Just kidding. That was a death warp. I did that on purpose. It spawns me back at the beginning of the dungeon. All right, weird shot. I can hit the ruby from the back, flipping the tower. I buffered that weird shot if you noticed. There was a reason for that. I did that because I need a first frame weird shot, and the camera pans down if I do that. If I do a second frame weird shot, the camera moves to the right and forward, which would not have worked in this situation because I need to go down to hit the ruby, and I can't reach it with a second frame. So just to make sure I hit it, I got a first frame buffered one.
So inverted stone tower goes by pretty quick, and there's just a few tricks that make it happen so quick. So the first thing he's going to do is do a long jump to this platform to the left, where this big statue guy, I don't even know the name of that guy. I'm sure it has a name. I forgot what it is though. Gonna do it.
Ooh, okay. Just a little off the side there. It's not a problem. This is actually a really cool trick. I like showing this off. So I kind of use this little line as a visual cue, and I kind of just go like this, and the bomb does the work.
And then so from over here, you're gonna enter the next room and do Song of Time Storage again with this void here. It's gonna be to skip the cutscene for the Twinmold remains. And now is the next boss key skip. What he's gonna do is get Infinite Sword Glitch here and start another hover. And start hovering over this big void. Now what he's gonna do is try to hover out of bounds. Now, even though it looks like there's just air under there, there is a wall, but there is a little gap between the invisible wall and the real wall, which he's gonna try to hover through right now. Alright, so now he's completely out of bounds below the room before the boss room. We can just keep hovering all the way back, and eventually he'll hit the boss loading trigger and fall directly into Twinmold.
So it looks like I'm kind of just floating in the sky. And it's like, where am I going? And it's like, I fell, and it looks like I just died, but boom, Twinmold. That's cool. That's a really cool looking boss key skip. I really like how you just, it looks like you fall and void out, but it really loads the boss. So Twinmold's interesting. He's complete RNG as far as movement goes. You gotta make your arrows count. You can get 2 shots on him right away though, because he has the same AI every time. 1. Okay, I just missed the second one. I pushed the button too early, but that's okay. As long as we make 1 count, that's fine.
So the way Twinmold works is Twinmold actually takes triple damage from fire and ice arrows on the opposite color, which is why he's using fire arrows on the blue one, and light arrows also do 4 damage on either one of them. So unfortunately, he couldn't get the ice arrows because they're kind of like really far into Great Bay Temple, and Great Bay Temple was like 20 seconds. So light arrows is the best one to use on the red one. Also, you normally get the Giant's Mask for this fight, but Giant's Mask is also a little bit too far out of the way. So arrows are the best option here. Even with Giant's Mask.
Woo, he's playing defense.
Even with Giant's Mask, arrows are generally faster unless you have the best sword.
Okay, he needs 1 hit left. If you kill one of them first, the second one moves faster. So I like to keep them both alive because if they move slower, they're out more and they can actually take more hits because I'm able to capitalize on them not being underground. This is a really nice fight. He's usually really unpleasant. I'm really glad he's not hurting me at all. I have a fairy. The fairy I'm using for Majora because Majora is a wild card. He's really unpredictable. And the fact that I didn't have to use my fairy on this run on Twinmold allows me to keep it for Majora. It's usually either or. And you saw there was a couple times where he might have almost hit me there. He's trying to do that right now. But this should take care of blue right here. All right.
Bill and Full Grown Gaming both had a lot of runs get to Twinmold, and I'm surprised Marathon Luck didn't take over here because that was one of your better Twinmolds from recent memory.
Yeah, that Twinmold was really, I couldn't ask for a better fight like that. I missed a double shot, but it's okay.
Twinmold is a very difficult fight to do very well just because of how much they're moving around and how hard it is to aim quickly and efficiently.
It's funny how if you put on Giant's Mask during that fight, the actual map for Giant's Mask is just above like in the same room, just way above that you can reach it. Twinmold just does things.
All right, so last little bit. It's funny because we're almost done with the run. We have all 4 remains. We need to go to the clock tower and fight Majora now because we have all the stuff we need. But we're not out of the woods yet because there's a lot of RNG still, despite there only being a couple minutes left in the run. We need to get a Deku stick so we can do a power crouch stab on Majora's Incarnation later and a Majora's Wrath because that means I can hit him less times and capitalize on my damage. Next I need to get a bomb drop from these trees or from the grass patches. And those are complete luck. So let's just pray to the bomb gods here. I like to do full health here. It was actually figured out that if you have full health, it actually gives you better bomb luck. And if you have critical health, you actually have better bomb luck than if you have full health. This is really unlucky though. I mean, it is what it is. I just kind of have to... There it is, bomb drop. Okay, so... still not too bad. 3rd try, can't complain. So we need the bombs because we need to get into the clock tower. Just find the door here. Okay, the entrance. So this part's fun. We get to grab Frank or Z over here. Take him for a little walk. We toss him up here. No animals were harmed in this one. We're gonna kill the animals later.
Get those donations in.
All right, so we grab Frank or Z. I grabbed Infinite Sword Glitch off him, and I'm able to hover on these bombs. I target him to unlock my camera, and now I'm able to turn directions. So I turned around. That's what the dog was for. I was able to use him to be able to make a U-turn and kind of work my way up. There's no hit detection up here, so I can go into the clock tower.
We got a $200 donation from Tonic, who says, please put this towards DNGR file name for Super Mario RPG. I hope to one day meet our friend Donguri in Japan. And that's a good point. The Super Mario RPG file name is Bid War, and it's if you want to affect that, get your bids in now. It's very soon. It's the next run. We got a $250 donation from Lancy. Majora's Mask is my favorite Zelda game, and I love to see it run. Seeing the various ways the games from my childhood are absolutely broken satisfies on so many levels. Keep on running, dudes.
All right, so now we have an awesome 5-minute cutscene.
Perfect time
Feel free to read donations.
Read some more donations, sure. Gesselschaft donated $100. Majora's Mask is my favorite 3D Zelda, so I had to donate once again. I cried last year when I found out the money went towards prostate cancer, the illness that took my Oppa's life. Imagine Phil hype. Patrick Park donated $100. This donation is for Gabriel Lotarina in memory of Mrs. Lotarina. Best of luck and stay strong. German Let's Play donated $100.43. Phil, how much time do you actually spend playing this game? By the way, thanks for playing one of my favorite games.
I play it a lot.
Yeah. Mr. Horse donated $70. I have no idea what to comment, but a friend suggested this. 1-1 was a racehorse, 2-2 was 1-2. 1-1-1-1 race, 2-2 1-1-2. Interesting. Anonymous donated $50. Thank you for the hours of entertainment and raising money for such a good cause. Yahiko donated $50. My uncle died of cancer a few years ago, and his birthday just passed, so I'm donating because I'd like to help people avoid going through the pain of losing a loved one. You guys are doing a great job. Keep it up.
I'm actually gonna go ahead and enjoy a piece of Toblerone.
Ooh.
I'm hungry.
Ultratraw17 donated $50. I hope my name doesn't have numbers after it again. Oh, sorry. Majora's Mask is an amazing game, and you know what? Let's throw money in to save Termina from the moon, the world from cancer, and of course, save the animals. MT Mannion donated...
Everybody pass it.
Oh, some sharing. MT Mannion donated $50. Loved watching Zelda speedruns for almost 2 years, and Majora's Mask is no different. Put my money towards ZFG's choice, and please, Majin Phil, don't die to Majora.
I'll do my best.
Deku Hero donated $60. coming from our gymnastics meet for the love of Link. Pun Master donated $50. I lost a dear friend to cancer a month or two after last year's AGDQ. Cause just means that much more to me as a result. Love what you guys are doing. Dortmunder donated $60. Majora's Mask is my favorite speed game. 2 players, 1 controller. Hype! Ellen donated $50. Happy birthday, ZFG. This donation goes to your choice, since I'm sure you'll make the correct choice, which is, of course, killing the animals. Is that right?
Thanks.
Maxwell donated $50.
Yeah.
Based on the current polls, it is clear we need a rebranding. Please, everyone, join me in donating to allow the animals to live undisturbed in their new habitat. We don't need bounty hunters scaring our animals with their blasters and missiles. Ty Bear donated $51.15. Shout out to a great run for a great game. Want to say hi to my best friend, Richard M. Stanton, since I finally got a donation read. Thank you to all the runners and staff for great work, for a great week. Screw you, cancer. Yeah, reminder, we don't have time to read all the donations, but we do really appreciate the ones that we get, and we are receiving all of them. Phil99 donated $50. What a great day. Happy birthday, ZFG.
Thank you.
Is it your birthday? No. Okay. I see.
12.
Defiance donated $50. Have to get in for Zelda swag and donating to kill the animals. Save those frames. Anonymous donated $50.50. Hi everyone. Greetings from Germany. Nemo donated $50. Kill the animals. Kill all the cuckoos. Tim Johnson donated $50. Another great GDQ. I'm glad to be watching and donating. Love the Zelda block and super excited for the OOT glitch exhibition.
All right, we're done this cutscene, finally. So one more super slide to the moon, or to the tree over there. Equip light arrows and Deku stick. I'm already stocked on arrows and magic, so I don't have to grab any more. And talk to the little kid. And deal with Majora. One of the cool things about this boss that I really like is depending on how you play the game, dictates his difficulty. So if you want a difficult battle, you can do it like in an any % run and not have a lot of stuff to work with, and it makes the fight challenging. Or you can collect everything and grab the Fierce Deity Mask, and the fight's literally just pressing B. So it's really cool how you can kind of dictate how the end of this game goes for you.
And Deku Mask only is complete destruction.
Yeah, you can do Deku Mask only. Have fun.
Yeah, there's actually some flower patterns on the ground. Those you can actually dig into with Deku, and a lot of people don't know that.
All right, be nice, Majora. Let's do this. All right, he goes down. All right, good. All right, he spawns the remains. I could kill the remains to make the fight super safe, but that takes a really long time, so I'm just gonna deal with them. That could bite me in the back later on, but hopefully it doesn't. First phase is pretty standard. Just rinse and repeat. Zora, fins. Okay, that was not good. The Zora fins sometimes don't hit. Okay, okay. And then a jump slash, that takes him out. All right, and the remains just were like, okay, let's do this. They started shooting me, but this cutscene took over, and now I can get a quick incarnation fight here. If he runs into me, I can take him out in almost 10 to 15 seconds. It's really cool. It's luck-based though, so let's see if he does it. I don't think he will, because based on my positioning. Yeah, that wasn't what I wanted, but I target him right away. That was really good. I got him down really quickly.
Time is coming up, by the way.
All right, he's not being nice. All right, he's doing Michael Jackson. Oh, nice. He was just running in place. Nice. This is a 10 out of 10 boss. Okay. All right, I got the emergency fairy just in case over here. Let's see what happens. Wrath is 10 power crouch stabs, and then it's time. Get ready for time. Ooh, okay. I'm gonna use my fairy here.
One little interesting note about this fight: if you shoot light arrows at Majora's Wrath, it will never dodge, even if you don't have enough magic to shoot a light arrow. As long as the light arrow is actually equipped.
He's not being nice. It's okay, we're good, I got this. Time! $135.22. All right, I'll take it. 135. Wow, he wasn't gonna let me take that one. That was very close. If I would have died there, it would have been 3-minute time loss just because of that. And then I would have had to refight him without a fairy and 3 hearts, so that would have been awesome. But yeah, you can see this run, optimally done, takes about an hour and a half. It's really fast-paced after the first 20 minutes. I really hope you enjoyed it. It was a pleasure doing it. I hope people are, I guess, encouraged to kind of pick up this game. It's a really fun game. The community is awesome, so feel free to reach out to us on Twitch. Follow the Zelda MM runners. And yeah, I just thank you very much for this opportunity, I guess. Thanks.
Thank you to Imagine Phil for a great run of Majora's Mask. That was some excellent commentary. Up next, we will have Super Mario RPG as run by Checkers. But right now, we're going to go to a commercial for Tiny Build.